I made $30K in 1 month with this account. $18,000 my first week launching my B2B offer. No ads, no big campaign, just a small following. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down every single thing that I did to achieve it. The sales, the content, the funnels, all the mechanisms that not only brought myself to scale to multiple 5 figures, but also the mechanism that I've built that's generated millions and millions of dollars for my clients. It's actually a cheat code. By the end of this video, what I want from you is that you know the bottlenecks inside your business and you know how to fix it. It's gonna be a lot, so take your notebook, get a pen. We're gonna go through every single small thing that you need to achieve multiple 5 figures with your info offer. I built Setco to $30K a month with a following of only 1,200 followers. With coaches at 50,000 followers, they probably make half or even less. I launched Nova, a done-for-you consulting offer about a few weeks ago, and within the first week, I closed $18,000 in sales just from 1 VSL and 1 booking page. Josh Chang, one of my clients, I scaled from $30K a month to $110K a month. We've collected over $1.5 million in revenue in a single year since I joined his offer. Akira, I'm working with him right now. 10K day after the first strategy call. I'm not telling you to flex, but I'm telling you because all of these numbers are coming from a single system, a single mechanism that is so easy to crack. And if you do it well, you can make a shit ton of money from. It's actually insane. It's cracked. It's a cracked system that everybody regurgitates but doesn't actually explain how it works. Once you see it, you can't see it. I'm telling you that right now. So here's what I'm covering. There's gonna be 4 sections inside this video, specifically showing the lie that you guys are believing inside your FYPs, the offer, understanding what part of fulfillment and what systems you need to create in order to achieve better results. Because at the end of the day, results are marketing. Third, the funnel breakdown. From content to content flywheel, to sales systems, to the DMs, to the closing. We're gonna be covering all of that inside this video today. Next, the $10 million conversion method. The conversion method from every single touch point and sales cycle that we always look at, the statistics, the KPIs, everything that we need to achieve the numbers that we have achieved for our clients and for my own offer. So, my name is Matt. Like I said, $2 million client in revenue, $1.5 million with a single client. I've achieved, in the last year, I've created 2 different businesses. One, Setco, being a B2C offer, and Nova being the B2B consulting. I travel around the world, I'm in university, and I still run my business. I recently hit 21, and in the last year, I've collected over $2 million in cash, and as you can see here, $291,000 in just the last few months of 2025. So here's the lie. Everybody tells you to do these 3 same exact things, these simple steps. Step 1, grow your audience. Simple. Step 2, post more content. Step 3, run ads. If I'm being fully honest with you, this system, especially with step 4 being monetized, is completely wrong, and it's the reason why most coaches stay stuck and haven't scaled past a certain number for at least 12 months. It's actually crazy. The wrong thing about this is that they scale the input that doesn't matter. Instead of searching for the thing that actually matters, they try to figure out different ways of it's kind of like putting a plaster on a broken leg. You can't solve scaling if you don't solve the actual fundamentals. Let me tell you what your business actually looks like right now. You probably have an audience, big, small, doesn't matter. You have an offer, you have some proof, you post out some content, you book some calls, you probably close some of them, but your revenue doesn't actually grow, and you don't even know why they don't grow. The thing is, there's 5 things that links with revenue growth, right? And you probably don't even know 2 of them. The whole idea is that if you don't know what the problems are, no matter how much you scale, no matter how much top of funnel content you post out, no matter how many views you get inside your pieces of content, if you don't fix the actual fundamentals of the sales system and the processing system within your funnel, you're just filling a bucket full of holes. And that's the actual problem, because the chain between the money and the attention isn't there. When I made $30K a month with 1,200 followers, the chain wasn't broken. We know every single step that the actual attention of our current audience is consumed. Every single piece of content, every single touch point that we produce nurtures the current audience that we have, right? Because if you have 30,000 followers and your ticket is 5K, you could be hitting 30K a month by closing just 6 of them. So instead of focusing on the actual content, focus on what type of content you're posting out and seeing where the problem lies. Is it the DMs not nurturing enough? Is it the sales calls that's being too pushy? Or is it just a whole ecosystem problem that your leads are coming in not warm? They're coming in cold. They don't know exactly what you do, what you sell, or the person that you are. And that in itself is already a fundamental problem that you can't fix with no matter how many ads you put out, no matter how much the budget and paid traffic is, it won't fix the problem. but everybody tells you, keep posting out ads and one of them is gonna hit. But if you don't have an organic funnel that's already dialed in, how can you produce more if you don't even have the right fundamentals? The audience size is not your problem. The problem is the chain. So let's break down every single part of the chain, starting from the actual offer in itself. Most people get this wrong. We see it all the time and we always hear it about it inside our videos, inside YouTube, all of the VSLs that coaches put out these days. They always talk about the same thing. They talk about the ICP, they talk about the dream outcomes, pain points, and they talk about identifying a gap, which I'm going to be elaborating a little bit. ICP is probably the most important part inside your actual offer. Why? Because the fundamentals of what an offer is made and the marketing of it is based off the person that you are targeting. Without the person that you are targeting, you don't know who you're speaking to. Thus, your content becomes useless and you're just attracting a broke audience. You have to make your ICP so clear and so precise that you know if someone watches this, it's relating exactly to what their pain points are or what their dream outcomes are. So in ICP, how would I run this down? I'll try to find an older previous version of myself that I want to be speaking to get to my position, right? Let's say jack of all trades. We have jack of all trades. We have Asian, right? Specifically for Setco, I targeted international university students. And this specific ICP, that solely depends on how relatable you are to them. And it also is the driver of the pricing range that you have. Some people are just putting out these numbers, 3K, 4K, 5K, 10K, but they don't even know who they're targeting. Obviously, you want a product market fit. If you have a product market misalignment, if you're targeting broke people inside your content where you're selling it at 3 to 4K a month, how are you gonna expect people to be able to buy? It doesn't make sense. That's why you have to figure out, okay, I want this specified ICP. Why? Because of not only am I relating to this person's ICP inside my content, but I know that they're qualified in terms of money, in terms of the drive that they have. This is why from international uni students, I decided to move my ICP, and this is what actually made me to 30K a month. I moved my international uni students ICP to a more specific type of ICP. Specifically talking about people who have tried multiple different side hustles. They failed, they have the drive, they have the hunger in them. Thus, the clients that you're working with are also going to produce you more results, and the more results they make, the more money you make, because it becomes a lot more marketable. Like I said before, fulfillment is everything, and fulfillment is part of the marketing. Next, in dream outcomes. What are dream outcomes? Dream outcomes, the best way to kind of understand dream outcomes and pain points is that you have to understand about the gap. Right? The gap, understanding it is, this is your lead and this is you. I want to put a crown in there. The lead has pain points and the desired outcomes is to become the person that you currently are. You are the person that they want to achieve. You are their desired outcome. You are the person that's going to bring them there as well. They see a specific person, you, making 30K a month, 50K a month with whatever side hustle that you did. Right? They want to achieve the results that you have, the life that you're living. And these desired outcomes is what you're marketing inside your personal brand. Whether that's something to do with family, whether that's something to do with traveling, or even, being able to, hiking. Specific desired outcomes of your ICP, things that they want to achieve, that's what you're marketing inside your content. You are in the position that they want to be in. And that's why people see you as an authority naturally, because you are their role model. That's how you have to see yourself. You are the desired outcome. Don't think about the future or think about the past, but when you think about desired outcomes, is me. And how can I market that as much as possible in order to sell to the people that are under me that wants to get into my position? And this lead has specific pain points. Specific pain points that you feel. For example, in fitness coaching, someone's fat and they keep pulling on their shirt and lose confidence. That's a pain point. We're speaking directly to the lead that we want to be speaking to specifically on the pain points. And that is what our content is talking about. When we are speaking, whether it's motivational pieces of content, whether it's top of funnel piece of content, it has to always either reach a specific pain point or a specific desired outcome. And the whole idea is when we identify this gap, the larger the gap, the better. Our DMs, our processes, our content flywheel, the information that we provide them, and our offer in itself is the bridge to get them to where they want to be. That's how we market it. And that is ultimately what you have to understand about your offer and in the marketing in itself. To dumb it down as much as possible, you are the person that they want to be, and you're going to get them there through your offer. So every single part that you market has to be reaching the desired outcomes, the life that that they want to live, you are living. And when you're speaking directly to their pain points, is the life that you had before. Here's the thing, most coaches won't admit that the reason that their offer is so half-assed is because of the fact that they're scared to commit to a specific market. Like, fitness coaches not only wanting to target people who cut, instead they want to target both people who cut and bulk. But you have to understand that in order to achieve great results, you have to be a dominant player inside a specific niche before you move out. It's called a beachhead strategy, where you have to make sure that you can defeat and you can dominate in one specific small market before you move into the other things. Because if you try to sell everybody, you won't sell anybody. Instead, you sell that specific ICP, you attract them with your personal brand and the ICP and the dream follower that you always hear about. And when you start attracting those people, every single person inside your funnel is not only going to be qualified, but have the same values and beliefs as you do. Not only is it going to make it easier for you to fulfill for them, but it's also going to help you enjoy your time more when you are working inside your offer every single day. When you write your offer for one specific type of person, every single sentence that you say is going to reach out to that one specific outcome. Every single part of the sentence actually works. And the person that's reading it is either that person or not. You can't achieve both. And that's the first link, the offer, which is probably the most important part. Understanding who you're targeting, who's your offer made for, and what you can achieve for them. That is definitely the very, very beginning that you have to achieve before moving on to everything else. Now we're moving on to the funnel. The most 5 important links to your actual revenue. I'm not going to be talking about fully the DM funnel and the VSL funnel. I'm sure most of you guys have seen a regurgitated piece of content explaining that. What I'm going to show you guys is understanding each stage of the 5 links that will be the highest leverage things that you can be implementing inside your business. First, attention. When I speak about attention, I'm speaking about content. And content, the whole idea is not to sell. Obviously, some parts are, but the main thing is bringing the right people to your right system, bringing people to your actual pipeline. I know you guys know about the top of funnel, bottom funnel, and middle funnel pieces of content, but in order to not kind of overcomplicate things, it's understanding the reason why you're posting specific types of content. One specific type of content is to bring in engagement from the audience, to attract the people. The second one is to nurture, to show your values and your beliefs, shows the type of person that you are, because people aren't buying into the coaching, instead they're buying into the coaches. Most coaches fail to the fact that they're only posting out informational videos that someone can write in ChatGPT and probably get a better answer to. Instead, you're breaking down limiting beliefs, you're showing your experiences and you explaining based off the experience that you have and the little things that become outliers for your brand. Right? Not only just the information, but the lifestyle that you live, but also the desired outcomes that I talked to you about before and the limiting beliefs and the pain points from your actual ICP. So when you have to understand what pieces of content is, it's also a flywheel. Every single piece of content is to engage, to be part of the actual pipeline. Not a specific content to just attract for the sake of attracting, but to attract a certain audience that brings them to the actual ecosystem so you can keep on nurturing. So then the next few links become a lot of an easier process and becomes a touch point inside your actual funnel. Next, we move on to conversation. Conversation in link 2 is probably one of the most important things ever, but people always treat it like it's an inbox. The DMs isn't an inbox. You can't just randomly go inside the DMs when you feel like it. No, that's why so many people are getting lost inside your actual conversations because you take 3 days to respond. The conversations, the DMs in itself is a pipeline. You have to treat it like a pipeline. Answer as fast as possible, making sure that every single person that goes inside the DMs gets nurtured, asks the right questions, answers the right questions, and get the resources they need, not only from your content, but also free value that you can give out as part of lead magnets to nurture even more. What I did for Nova when I closed at $18,000 in my first week, what I did was I told my setter to reach out, I think over 200 DMs. When I reach out to 200 DMs, we're texting every single person inside the pipeline that we know that are relatively qualified. And from those 200, 3 of them closed. I know for a fact that some of you guys with even only 2,000 followers, you're not reaching out to every single one of them. Right? Don't only think that inbounds are the only way to go. You're leaving so much money on the table. Because if you don't do your content properly, why is everybody going to reach out to you? And then most of the time, the people that you get as inbounds are disqualified. Why? Because outbounds, you can pick the people that you want to speak to. So always pick and choose. outbound to the right people, and you will find one that you're going to be able to sell to. And the thing is, I hate to say it and I had to break it to you, but the best way to do this is honestly outsourcing it, right? You have content to do, you have the fulfillment to run, but you still don't want to apply a setter inside your DMs. That's probably the lowest cost, but the highest leverage thing you can do inside your business. It's 5% from every single deal close, right? If you don't make money, they don't make money. It's only 5%, and it's probably the biggest thing that you can do, because so many people don't know how to do the DMs properly, or don't spend enough time to actually give in everything inside the DMs, so you're going through it slowly. People just ask conversations that are like qualifying that I can send over a spreadsheet to it in a Google form. It's not that. It's a human conversation. It's someone inside the DMs speaking and generally showing that they care about the person that they're speaking to. And that's what sells. Not the questions that you ask, not the qualifications that you have inside your Calendly, but a human conversation showing that you're genuinely interested in helping the lead out. Next, we move on to link 3, qualification. Like I was saying before, qualification, all of you guys are probably gonna say, yeah, I have a budget question inside Calendly. Most of the time, budget questions, they don't work because people can lie. Why would, like, if I gave you like a car, for example, and I told you, what's your budget for this car? You're gonna pick the lowest budget that you can. Not the highest, because I'm probably gonna sell you more, right? It doesn't make sense. Qualification is not just the budget question, but it's actual human questions that you're asking them to not only qualify them for finances, but to also qualify their personality, whether they're a right fit for the community. The better it is that you have a clean process and not taking every single lead that you have in, the better your fulfillment, the better your community, the more results that you have, the more you're going to be able to market it and make you more money. We move on to link 4. When I talk about conversion, I'm talking about sales calls. And sales calls are probably the easiest thing or the hardest thing inside this 5-step funnel. Why? Because if you did link 1, link 2, link 3 properly, the actual conversion sales call is the easiest thing that you will ever do. In January, when I did my 30K month, I had a 100% close rate. Why? Because I did everything before it so much easier. Everybody came on the call already nurtured, know exactly what I do, and they were just ready to put their money down. Right? Obviously, we have a certain process in terms of how we speak inside the sales calls and how we break limiting beliefs, but everything before that is already building onto that link 4, right? But if you don't do your link 3 properly, you don't make out content, you don't make out sales assets, you don't nurture your leads, and you don't actually show them the value that you can provide to them, or that you are the desired outcome, the sales call is literally just an hour of yapping and you arguing with them, and that is not sales. That's just you coping because you think that your sales is good, but it's not, and you're trying to force someone who's never met you before, doesn't know shit about you, to close in an hour sales call, which, like, logically speaking, it doesn't make sense. Next, link 5. Probably the most important thing, like I was saying in every single link before. Link 5 is the compounding effect of all the students and all of the results that you have. Once you've done everything here, all the information that you give them, all of the specific limiting beliefs that you break, all of the motivational videos that you reach out, that you speak inside your pieces of content, that will lead you to a compounding effect in terms of quality of clients that you have. Everybody that goes through this, that specific person is going to relate to you, knows your results, and is always happy with understanding the information that you're going to provide, and understands that they have to put in the work. So many times, people don't do this. Okay, they close, and the link 5, they don't have a compounding effect because their actual fulfillment is dog shit. Not just the fulfillment and the offer structure in itself, but the people that they're attracting aren't putting in the work. Because let's be honest, inside an info offer, most of the time it's implementation. And most people don't want to implement because they're lazy. And if you attract lazy people, you have lazy clients, you have lazy students, you have a shit community culture, you won't get the compounding effect. The compounding effect is solely about giving good fulfillment, having the right clients, and being able to achieve results in good fulfillment that you can then sell back in the front end in the link 1 to make the link 1 so much stronger, link 2 so much stronger, and moving on a lot better in the whole funnel. That's what people don't realize. Fulfillment is marketing. It isn't the lowest leverage thing. It's not a cost. Why? Because the better fulfillment you have, the more money you're going to make. And those are the 5 links. And I'm going to show you exactly how I implement this inside my own offer structure inside Zetko. Okay, now I'm going to be breaking down exactly the content flywheel that I use inside the actual first link of the actual funnel. So inside Seco, what I have is a mixture of not only long form but short form content, with every specific piece of content nurturing or moving on to the next thing. As you can see here, this is my content flywheel. The 3 steps of a content flywheel is attract, delight, and engage. With every single video that I put out, it's either trying to attract an audience, engage an audience, or give them as much information and nurture them as much as possible. So, in the very beginning of my actual YouTube video funnel, I have 2 main playlists, the documentation and the actual appointment setting guide. Obviously, it looks a little bit different now that I'm moving into Nova B2B, but basically within these playlists, the whole idea is that if someone clicks one video, the playlist plays the rest. The documentation side of things, showing my values, beliefs, increasing the chances of people watching my life as a desired outcome, whether that's traveling, whether that's going to a mastermind, or certain limiting belief breakdown videos like I just made 30K a month at 20. Honest experiences, even motivational videos, things that I like recording because it shows my personality and it shows the type of person that I am, showing me more genuinely interested in helping them out. I make them feel as if I was more of a genuine person. Next, we have the actual appointment setting guide. Like Alex Hormozzi says, the more value you give, the more you have in return. So every single point of my videos always provides some sort of value inside appointment setting, whether it's a 30-minute full guide, 9-minute what is appointment setting, or the VSL as you can see here. Every single one of these videos is made to attract an audience and also engage them. Not only having a CTA inside the video, but to show authority, to show my beliefs, my values, but also show them that I have the information necessary to bring them to where they want to be. Especially if you find the appointment setting video, if you click on one, you click, let's say, how this guy made over 20K texting people, a client testimonial. It shows someone, it shows the social proof, it shows someone's values, and also engages the audience understanding the connection and the relationship that I have with my actual students. Next, if you click on this, if you look at the bio or you see inside the playlist, the next thing is going to be what is appointment setting. Someone came in from a client testimonial, now they're looking at what is appointment setting. They want to get into more deeper, they get into a full training guide. And after the full training guide, they were like, how do I make action? They watched my VSL, which is how I made 5 figures texting people on my phone. This specific video made me over $50,000. It was one of my first few videos that I've ever launched. Remember, this specific VSL, what it's for is to nurture an audience, to show your authority, show your journey, and also show the processes that you have that gets them to where they want to be. This specific VSL, I wouldn't say it's necessarily the best VSL I've ever made. This was very early on. I didn't have any client case studies, but it did its job. Why? Because it's meant to nurture, it's meant to show social proof, and it's also meant to relate to the audience, to the specific person that I'm actually attracting. As you can see here, like I was saying before, from the how this guy made over 20K texting people, client testimonial, to the beginner guide, to a full guide, into the actual VSL. With even the content flywheel find in the actual Instagram page, people like to think of Instagram as, you know, a way to get an audience instead of nurture. Well, I think differently. Long form is really good to provide value, to nurture a lot, but Instagram in itself, how it's made, how it's created, especially people seeing your if they follow you, seeing your videos inside your page and the story sequence is acting like a retargeting ad, you have to leverage each spot. Every single video or carousel or story sequence that you put out needs to nurture them in a way. It's a retargeting ad. Every single carousel that I post, I show my authority, I show my association with people that are doing a lot better than me. Why? Because it brings me to that level. It's all showing authority. It makes me seem like someone that you would want to listen to. And that's the whole idea. The more authority, the more trust I build. The more trust I build, the more perceived value I build for the person, for the lead that's actually engaging inside my pipeline. As you can see here, we have the story sequences inside the results channel. We have the carousel of me traveling, the carousel of me being in a networking event, right? And all of this runs back down to the pipeline that we have. Remember, the different links that we have to our revenue. If we take a look at the 2 main funnels that I run inside my old offer, was 2 specific funnels. I still run it for the Nova B2B. It's a VSL funnel and it's a DM funnel. Nothing special, no webinar funnel, no nothing like that. No, LT Ascension funnel or free community funnel. Very simple 2 funnels that made me so much money, because if you do it right, you can make a shit ton of bread. So first, the VSL funnel. The VSL funnel is very easy. We just have the VSL, we have the actual booking link. Then we have a post-booking process where basically anybody that books in, my DM setter gets into the DMs, speaks to the people, nurtures them, asks them questions, and also sends specific videos if they haven't watched it yet. These three main videos being the client breakdown, the processes breakdown, the what is appointment setting video, and another client testimonial. Then from there, we have the sales call. Very, very simple. Next, this is a very, very structured profile funnel. So we have the Instagram flywheel, like I said, from the actual feed to the videos that I post out, whether it's to engagement videos, informational videos, or just nurturing videos. I also run story sequences specifically for CTAs or just to show client results, engage the audience a lot more. Then I have CTAs, inbounds, outbounds. Then we have the conversation. All of this as part of a pipeline process. Report, problem-aware, solution-aware, urgency, pitch, post-booking. Then we have the booking link. Again, the post-booking by the DM setter, also part of the post-booking guide inside the actual framework, and then the sales call. If you guys want the frameworks built out specifically for the content flywheel, the sales process that I use, the DM setting frameworks, and the sales calls frameworks that I use, make sure you DM me on Instagram. It's going to be in the bio. You can send me anything from this video. I'll send it over to you. Even via SellMakers, it's going to be super, super easy just to send it over to you guys because literally everybody can use AI. I made a cloud artifact that I can send over to you. Next, after understanding what type of funnel that you actually run, the next most important thing is understanding the fulfillment and the fulfillment process that you have to achieve in order to get your clients' results. Like I said, and I keep repeating inside this video, clients' results are the one thing that pushes the needle forward for your offer. The more client results that you have, the more social proof, the more trust you build, and the more of a higher perceived value that you have. Right? If all of your students are making 5K a month and you charge 4K for just one single payment for 4 months, obviously people are going to think, damn, this is so much cheaper than what it should be, right? And that's what you want to build. So in terms of the processes that I use, there are a few main things. First, when someone comes in, they instantly get a fully built out SOP with everything they need to do in terms of, first it's the contract, then it's the welcome video, they get the SOPs and they get access to their own Notion dashboard. So inside their own Notion dashboard, remember this, the first 24 hours of your actual client's journey within your offer is the most important time inside the 4 months or however long the duration of your program actually is. Why? Because the first 24 hours determines the actual lifetime value of your client. So you gotta make sure within the 24 hours they get everything that they need and more. So for Setco in itself, within the first 24 hours, you get sent an automated email. From the automated email, you get sent a contract, a welcome video, the links to the Discord, and the links to your own Notion dashboard. Inside the Discord itself, it's a built-out community. We have things that shows the culture of our community. We have tracked EODs that runs up into a Looker Studio where we have sales metrics trackers, which I'm going to show. We have the wins channel, and they get their own separate one-on-one. Everything here, not only adding on to the culture, but the discipline that they want to be making as part of the fulfillment. Next, we have the Miro. Every single one of my students get access to their own Miro. The Miro is used as a way to structure their own work, figure out their own workflows, and also make out their own frameworks and understanding how to review their own conversations with the most efficiency. We have the course as well inside our setco.io, which comes with a welcome video explaining the processes and the commitments and the specific strategies that we want our students to have. This also comes with expectations and also comes with the things that they have to do within the next week. Everything is sort of SOP'd out from week 1 all the way to week 12. Within the first 4 weeks, it's all about learning. So they get every single piece of access and modules that they need to do in order to reach certain goals or certain milestones and specific calls that we would have. This is the Setter's Collaborative Mastery Fulfillment, the main course, which is meant to be done within the first week. They also get access to the Looker Studio. So every single student has a sales metrics dashboard that they can review their own results and make sure they identify different bottlenecks using data in itself. Again, just a part of the fulfillment, discipline, and being able to, achieve great results in a way. The first thing that everybody says when they first hear this is like, Matt, this sounds all good, but I don't have the audience, I don't have the engagement. That doesn't matter. I had 1,200 followers and I hit a 30K month. Akira hit a 10K day after one strategy call. Volume is not a constraint. The chain is what you have to consider. The second thing people say is, it's too early for this. I'll do this when I have a bigger audience. You have to reverse that. You'll get bigger when you build this. I know so many people with 100,000 followers, 300,000 followers, barely able to make 10K. Why? Because you have to build your audience to people that you want to sell to. You're running a business. If you want to be an influencer, go do your thing. But don't expect to be able to sell high ticket to an influencer platform, because the people that you're watching are just broke leads. You have 100,000 followers and none of them you can sell to. Why not have 2,000, 3,000 followers that you start off with, but all of them are people that you want to target and you can sell to. You can monetize your platform so much better if you focus on quality of leads rather than just quantity. You figure out the profits of all of the followers inside your pipeline. If you're making 30K a month and you're doing 1,200 followers, that's $25 a lead. And last thing, so many people don't trust setters to get in the DMs. How does that even make sense? Right? First of all, obviously nobody's gonna know how to speak to you, but if someone has put in the hours, months and months on end, just training on how to be a setter, obviously they're gonna do a lot better than you are. People forget the fact that the DM setting process is a sales process. It's not just asking questions. It's not just trying to be friendly. It's not just pitching in a call, but it's a whole process that you have in order to nurture the leads and make sure they're warmed up before your actual sales call. Stop trying to cope for everything else and think that the only thing that you need to work on is your sales skills. It's not. I'm not that good at sales and yet I'm still at 100% close rate. That's because all of the pieces that I fixed beforehand has gotten me to that point. People don't come in calls with the craziest objections, with the partner objections, with the fear objections, because all of that's already dealt either inside my VSL or inside the specific videos that I make in order to reach out to those people with certain pain points. Those limiting beliefs are broken way before the sales call, instead of in the sales call itself. Here's the one sentence I want you to take away. Content is not the only thing that makes you money. The system in itself makes you money. You can post in 300 day in the lives tomorrow, but it doesn't mean you're gonna make 100K a month. Content just brings the right person into the funnel. They go through the system, they go through your sales process, they get nurtured, they build trust, and you get on a sales call, and that's when you make money. Everything else is downstream of that. If you fix the chain, your existing audience is going to close. If you don't try to fix a chain and you keep growing, again, you're just filling a bucket full of holes. If you're a coach doing 10 to 40K a month, you have a big following, but you don't know how to convert, and you see this video and you're like, holy shit, he's making 30K a month and he has 10 times less than me in following. Book in a call below. It's gonna be a chill consulting call. I'm gonna go over your actual content, see your actual infrastructure and what you've built out, and see what type of bottlenecks that you can fix. I'm not gonna sell you, try to force you to put out a credit card, but we're gonna go over it together and see whether we can work together or not. I'll speak to you guys soon. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember, if you guys want any sort of sales scripts or any sort of frameworks inside that I've mentioned inside this call, whether it's DMs, sales calls, content, VSL, send me a DM inside Instagram and I'll send it over to you guys and then we'll start speaking from there. All right, peace out guys.